Well, hello again, everybody. This is John Norris at Trading Perspectives. As always, we have our very good friend, Sam Clements. Sam, say hello.
Hey, John.
You doing okay?
Doing awesome. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing really good today myself. I really can't complain, and all the more so because we have Thanksgiving coming up.
We do.
Thanksgiving is actually one of my more favorite holidays. I really like it. I like the thought process behind Thanksgiving, that we're all getting together and acknowledging that there's something better or bigger than we are, and giving thanks for the bounty that we have in this country and just for us as individuals. So I've always enjoyed Thanksgiving. It's one of my more favorite of the secular holidays and probably is my most favorite secular holiday. Sam, what say you about that?
I think I agree with you. I'd put Christmas first, probably Thanksgiving second.
Yeah, well, Christmas is a religious holiday. So, but I'm talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah. No,
secular.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's my favorite secular holiday.
And it's and I really like it, and it hasn't always been a holiday. I mean, the thing is, I think it was Abraham Lincoln really kind of codified it, and then it's up to FDR to finally give it the date in which we've enjoyed now. I think it was the fourth Thursday of every November, right?
Yeah.
So, but growing up, I think we all knew the little pictures of little pilgrims and little Native Americans and little stories about how everyone got along so well with one another. And now it seems as though that's under attack by people that want to debunk a lot of the myths and a lot of the history of the United States. And Sam, I'm here to tell you, while we put up pictures of pilgrims and made turkeys with outlines of our hands when I was a kid, I never really thought too much or cared too much about the story of the pilgrims in 1621 or whatnot. I just enjoyed getting together with my family and all that stuff. And now it's sort of like what we saw over the summertime and leading up to even Columbus Day, a lot of the debunking or debasing of a lot of our previous national history or mythology, if you want to call it. And yet, yesterday, I read an article by an Aaron Dion of the USA Today Network talking about, just this is the first line of her article. After a summer of racial reckoning, is the country finally ready to learn the truth about the first Thanksgiving? And in the article, it's probably very well. I mean, I read it. It's she's a good writer, and I've probably not too much I can refute in terms of the actual facts. It looks to be relatively well researched. I guess the question I want to ask is, and I guess I need to know this from someone who's younger than myself. Why is this going on? Why do we have to get to the truth on everything? And why do we have to stare in the mirror and make sure that we dislike what we see staring back at us? And why we're debunking our nation's mythology? And what's the end game? I don't. That's what I don't understand. I don't understand what the end game is. Sam,
Well, you and me both. I mean, it's kind of a slippery slope, if you ask me, to start whether it's canceling something or just not celebrating something, or if we start going down that road of anything that has any sort of negative connotation or negative history or any sort of bad act behind it at any point in history, that we quit celebrating, quit looking at the positive sides of it, where does that stop? I mean, how does that stop? I mean, all of us have done things probably not that wouldn't be celebrated as a society, or I just don't see how it ends. If we say so and so was the first president, we'll say George Washington. Well, maybe George Washington did this. Everybody's done something. Where does it end?
well, that's what I wish I knew. And while this writer did a good job presenting her point, and I can't argue with that, I just kind of wondered what success
What's the goal?
what did success look like for her when she decided to sit down? What did success look like for her editor? What did success look like for USA Today in deciding to print it? It's not necessarily a bad article, but I just kind of read it going, what are we hoping to accomplish with this?
Right.
And that's what I am confused about this. I'm confused about Christopher Columbus didn't find in debasing that guy. and just changing a lot of history. And some of it maybe arguably needs to be changed, but I think he used the term slippery slope, and I think that's an excellent term. Where does it stop? And where do we sometimes, you know, where do we get to the point where it's sometimes okay to believe the lie, to believe the myth, and it's okay for that, and you know, it's part of who we are as a country, that we buy into this myth that maybe George Washington really didn't chop down the cherry tree, or maybe he really didn't throw a silver dollar across the Potomac, but it's okay.
Yeah, and even some of the things that are, you know, factual that people have done. I mean, some people love FDR. FDR doesn't have a super clean history if you look back on some of the stuff he's done. I mean, along with pretty much every single president of the United States, pretty much every single one of them has probably done a regrettable thing, or a thing that at least our society in our current time views as a regrettable thing, and not such a great event. Do we quit celebrating presidents and the good that they've done? Do we take down Mount Rushmore, sand those faces off, and, you know, act like it never happened? I mean, that sounds extreme, but I hope you get my point of, between the myths and the facts of what people have actually done historically, especially when viewed out of context of the historical time that it took place in, we're never going to stop.
No, we never will.
It will never stop, at least.
Well, trying to hold 21st century morals and mores on people that have died centuries previous, it's difficult. It's very difficult, just as it would have been difficult for the people in those times and the times before that. Human beings are adaptable to change, and human beings do change over time. And these are things that, you know, certain things that we have gotten rid of in our society because we decided it wasn't good.
Yeah, and a lot of it rightfully so.
Yeah.
I don't think our point is anything but that, but.
Yeah, but at what point do you quit beating yourself up, or beating up others in society, or just beating up the society itself for the sins of the past? That's the curious question. Yeah. That is the curious question, and I'm not sure if either of us actually knows the answer. I mean, where does it stop? Do we quit? Do we quit with the pretense of Santa Claus? I mean, why not? That's a bold-faced lie. There's absolutely nothing true about that.
Yeah,
absolutely. No, I mean, it has less truth than the story of the first Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I mean, nothing true about it. There's not a giant elf who lives on the North Pole in a magic palace with a bunch of elves who make toys and.
Well, John, I think you could find some people who are trying to disprove for the rest of the world things like that.
You know, there are no leprechauns at the end of the rainbow. Period. End of discussion. There's no tooth fairy, no matter what The Rock, you know, a few years ago, no matter what he might have to say about it, and all that stuff, and it's okay. It's absolutely okay. And every society has their own myths, or has had their own myths over time.
Oh, I mean, German culture, they have, you know, the Black Forest and things like that. You know, you get taken out in the sack if you acted poorly the year before and thrown in the Black Forest. I mean, every single culture has good things and bad things that are.
The Germans have the Nibelungenlied, the Song of the Nibelungs, which I had to read in college, by the way. It's actually pretty good. You know, the British, I guess, have King Arthur, and every society has someone and some story that you blow up to mammoth proportions. I would imagine the French have Charlemagne or someone else.
Sure, everyone has it.
Does the average Japanese citizen really believe the current emperor was descended from the sun goddess? Probably not.
Yeah,
I mean, I could be wrong, but you know, is everyone beating themselves up over this? I don't know, because I'm here to tell you, in terms of Thanksgiving, what I'm celebrating on Thanksgiving, what I intend to celebrate this Thursday, is not some mythological or idyllic version of some dinner 400 plus years ago.
Right. It has
Um,
transformed. It has
yeah,
molded itself
it
into
just,
what it is now of
I'm not sitting there
being
saying
thankful.
giving thanks that, some Puritans, and I don't have any ancestors who are Puritans. There's some Puritans ate some food with some Native American. I'm not celebrating that.
Right.
You know what I'm celebrating? I'm celebrating my family. I'm celebrating my friends. I'm celebrating
Yeah. Things to be thankful for.
I mean, I'm celebrating that. I'm giving thanks to God that I've been able to do all these things in my life, the opportunity to live in this country. And that's what's concerning.
Yeah.
So what do people of, and that's my generation. I'm a little bit older than yours, a little bit older, just a few years, and I'm Gen X. And so I would imagine boomers and Gen X people probably look at this type of stuff with a little bit more of a question mark over their head than maybe people of your generation. And I'm not necessarily saying you, but
Yeah.
what is it about the younger generations that want to, and it seems like the people that are really doing this truly are more younger than I am, are, what's in it for them? Why?
I don't know if it's come from, this abundance of information that we have and that we can, get down to the nitty gritty details and facts of things that have happened. And if it's just that desire to just be correct on everything, and whether that means factually correct or politically correct or whatever version of that you want it to be. But I would lean towards that kind of being the reason is, people no longer have to just maybe take things with a grain of salt, or maybe this isn't exactly what happened. Now you can Google it, and 30 seconds later have pretty much all the information that they wanted to have on the events that actually unfolded in the early days of our country.
So I guess the goal is to be completely honest about everything 100% of the time.
Maybe. Sounds kind of miserable though.
Not sitting there saying that you need to go lie. But at some point, just like with anything else in life, you have to do a cost benefit analysis.
It's like the person who always butts into a conversation and says, but actually,
Yeah, but actually, yeah, the old devil's advocate, I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it'd be like, with this particular article, it'd be like me saying, for whatever reason, going and finding some 5 games at Auburn and finding out what you would really like as a sophomore. And find out what you really did at rodeo your junior year.
Oh yeah.
And then for whatever reason, just go, Sam, I can't believe you were doing this. Have you told your fiance about how you behaved? Blah, blah, blah.
No one likes that person.
Yeah, no one likes that person. And what good have I done?
Nothing. I mean, and that's kind of the gist of it, and the fear and the what the snowball effect turns into is it's just this constant dragging people down.
Well, the thing is, but what I might find out, what I might make very public to everyone, might be completely accurate.
Yeah, and then all it does is, makes whoever worse off, and better off.
So it's a losing proposition.
It's destructive.
It's destructive. So what's the appeal of that?
I don't know. I mean, I think it comes from some people who, I guess, find joy in bringing other people down. I mean,
where I don't understand it, Sam, I don't get it.
There is,
and on Thanksgiving in a couple of days, I'll be giving a lot of thanks about a lot of things, but I'm not going to be giving thanks to these people whose purpose seems to be destructive. Not building anyone up when you're debunking everything. Yeah, I mean, it's when you gain nothing and you hurt others or destroy something for people.
It's kind of like a bully mentality, bringing others down and making yourself feel better because of it.
Yeah, it's overall it's a net cost for society as opposed to a benefit.
Big time.
And I'm not going to be giving thanks for that.
I will not be either.
Well, there you go. How about that? We're not trading perspectives on this. We don't trade perspectives all the time, but this is a real
I think we're in lockstep on this.
This is something I just really don't get. I mean, I just really don't get. I mean, it's people say, oh, blah blah blah, and all that stuff about my background. That's not even that. It's when you're knowingly doing something for no benefit of yourself, just to destroy someone else. It doesn't make any sense. It's
Cynical.
just mean, just mean spirited, rude. Huh, there you go. On a lighter note, it is Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. I'm excited.
Guys, as always, I'm not sure we trade perspectives, but we always love to hear from you all. So if you have any thoughts or comments or questions, by all means, please drop us a line at tradingperspectives@oakworthcapital.com, or you can leave us a review on the podcast outlet of your choice. As always, if you want to read more, hear more of what we have to say or how we think, by all means, you can go to oakworthcapital.com and look underneath the Thought Leadership tab and find all kinds of good information and articles out there. Sam, I'm going to give you a last chance.
That's all I got. Happy Thanksgiving.
That's all I've got today, too. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Sam, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Y'all take care.